I think we're ready.
Are we ready?
It says live on Facebook on the top of my screen. So hello, folks. It's with Kathy Morrison. She's over there on my screen. Wendy Card down below, and yours truly, Colleen Roberts. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is New Bern Now's podcast for July 16th, 2020, and this is episode 148. Woo!
Yay! All right, we're connecting you with the community by talking about people and places in New Bern and beyond. Join in the conversation. We want you to let us know if you have any questions or announcements by simply commenting.
We'd like to talk about different events and things that are going on around the area, and this is a perfect platform for it. So please comment or send in your announcement, and we are liable to talk about it right here on the Podsquad. And we have Talina Massey, who is trying to join for our podcast today. We'll give her a second to get on and join us. So we have 4 women. It's girl power today.
Yay! Woo!
There we
While
go.
we're waiting on Talina, how are you doing, Wendy?
There she is. I'm doing
guys.
good. Hey, Talina.
Hi,
Hi, Talina. I don't know Talina. I'm Kathy.
I'm Talina. Nice to meet you, Kathy.
Nice to meet you.
I feel
Not
like
everyone knew Talina.
I know. I've been on here a bunch, and Kathy's been on here a bunch, but apparently never at the same
Not
time.
at the same time.
So,
Yeah, well, finally.
how are you, Talina?
I am well and safe during this time. How's everyone else?
Good. Good.
Good.
The same. Yeah. So,
You were super busy with lots of stuff the last time we talked to you, Talina.
Oh, yeah, we did. We did Juneteenth, which
Yes.
turned out pretty good. That was a great event for the community and a good fireworks show for the kids. We thank Tiny Tornado for coming out and providing the burgers and the hot dogs. And everyone else, all the elected officials that came out. It was a very good event. So we're still rolling on with that, with the Arts Council. You can go to the Bank of the Arts and still see the Juneteenth display up. I believe there are 4 artists, 3 to 4 artists. There were supposed to be 8, but obviously because of COVID, it has changed our lives in sometimes amazing ways. So that was changed a little bit, but yeah, currently now, what do we have going on? Young Urban Professionals is getting ready to put out their book series for this month of June. I believe we may have a New Bern police officer who happens to also be an author. So we're going to spotlight that local talent. I believe I told you guys, the technology company that I'm associated with is BrainTech Technologies, and they have an Optimal Performance Summit going on right now, July 16th through the 19th, which is free. Over 60 health experts, mental health, performance health experts, including, if anyone's familiar with Dave Asprey in the biohacking community. We also have Kat Graham. I don't know if anyone's ever seen, what is it, Vampire Diaries? Yeah, we have Kat Graham on there and a couple others. Dr. Daryl Joffrey, he was on Real Housewives of New York. So there are some of our experts that are speaking about health and optimization. So I'd suggest anyone go to the Optimal Health Summit or Optimal Performance Summit website and check that out. And that's through BrainTech Technologies. And I believe that is it so far, just this week. Just this week.
Wow.
Cool.
You're
That's
still
all.
good.
Yeah. That's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Wendy,
Oh.
how are you doing?
I'm doing good, but before we get into going around the screen, how about we announce the contest before it's the end of the show and we forgot to announce it like
right.
last time. So we have a contest, and to be entered to win, make sure that you comment during today's show on this Facebook page. Because if you comment on somebody else's that they shared it, I may not be able to see the comment and you may not be able to enter to win if you answer correctly. Okay, at 1:50, we will announce the winner and the contest is over. If you answered correctly, your name will be entered in a drawing to win a prize, and the winners will be announced at 7 p.m. tonight. And the Pod Squad will be able to answer at 1:50. So put your guesses in, and the question is, what is North Carolina's official gemstone? So comment and you'll be entered. So, and Rob Jones is watching. What do you say? Let's see. I should have put the glasses on. Hello, ladies. Y'all are looking good. I bet you are too there, Rob. But Rob won, I think, the last one. I know he recently won a contest, but I think it was the Pod Squad one. So, yeah.
So get those answers in on the New Bern Now
Yes.
book live for this podcast. And you said 150, 150, we will announce.
Yeah, so that's kind of fun.
Yeah, so
are we going to announce the answer at 1:50 or the winner?
I'm going to ask you guys what you think the answer is, and then we'll give the answer and a little bit of history, and then go from there. And then the contest will be over. Does that make sense?
Nice.
Sorry, I'm on muscle relaxers, so I may be a little slow today.
So Wendy, you were talking about taking a respite from New Bern Now the last time that we were on. I didn't know if you wanted to talk about how you spent some of that valuable time, what you learned from it, and maybe what the way forward is going to be like for New Bern Now.
Well, we're going to continue doing what we've been doing, but well, I can't believe it's been, I think, a little over, 2 weeks, I think.
Yes.
Anyway, I just, my mind was just so boggled with negative thoughts and sadness, and just like, not the sky is falling or anything like that, but you get just really blocked up where you can't write positive things. And it's not just necessarily positive, but informational, tidbits for the community, let people know what's going on in people's parts of town. And so anyway, I did a lot of reading. I walked in nature. What else did I do? I didn't watch the news. Well, I slipped up a couple times, but I put on the oldies music and the 80s music, and so I just turned it off. And I tried to, keep up on Facebook with my friends and that, but other than that, I just unplugged. And I feel like a new person. And we've created a private Facebook group for New Bern Now. It's called The Bright Side. And if you want to join, just contact me. We don't want any kind of trolling or politics or anything that's going to bring people down. We want to lift people up, and we're asking everyone that lives, all residents from all walks of life, to send us information about what's happening in your neck of the woods, what in your neighborhood. For instance, Joanne Kloster and Patrick, they're members of the Riverbend Community Organic Garden. And I learned that the organic garden, the members are making, gardening, the food for the Burmese community.
A lot of the ingredients.
So, I think that's really important that they have that, because, they're living in a world that it's just, totally different from their way of life. And just to have that little piece of home is just so special. And they're the kind of stories that we really want to share, because it's important. It's important, the quality of life of different people. And I don't know, I just met a lot of new people, and it just opened up my mind to, everyone has a story to tell, and we want to help you tell yours. So You can send us an email at info@newbernnow.com.
I thought it was interesting that you said, you know, I unplugged and I spent some time in nature, and that is your way to unplug. You love the Croatan, you love to camp. You said you did some of all of it while you took some time off. You did a lot of walking in the forest, and so I'm sure it was your perfect place for kind of regrouping your mind.
Yes, it is my perfect place, but I'm sure it's not everyone's. So it's not. How do you guys unplug? What do you do? Talina, where do you go? Do you go to a special place, or how do you?
I recently celebrated a birthday. My birthday was July 5th.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, guys. And I went to the Outer Banks. I am a water person. So being in nature and being by water, whether it's a lake or the ocean, and totally ditching my cell phone and my laptop is literally how I unplug. And I have to remind myself that I need a couple hours away from that frequency of constantly wanting to answer a message, a text, an email, everything that's buzzing around me. I have to shut out the noise for a little while. So that's what I did. I took a 3-day vacation and I just sat and wrote and poetry and all of the girly things that we don't get to do because we're so busy with our normal routine and our normal schedule. So that's my way of unplugging. Meditation.
It's important.
Yeah.
Do you go shelling at all? Is it what's called, picking up shells or anything?
I don't per se. My daughter does, but I don't. Yeah.
Well, at least you have something for her to do when you want to just relax.
Exactly. And then we use them to decorate the bathroom. So it works out.
And speaking of birthdays, it's Kathy's birthday today. Woohoo!
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Kathy.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Hold on. What? Happy birthday.
Didn't know if that was booze or applause.
Yeah, cheap little gadget.
Happy for your birthday.
I didn't hear you.
Do you have any special plans for your birthday?
Doing this. Gonna drive through and get some birthday dinner and bring it home and eat it.
Tell Jim he has to do something nice for you.
Yeah, well, he did. He here we go. I got it. Can you see there?
Oh, that's pretty.
That's a stone from the Dominican Republic.
Wow.
Called Larimar. It's kind of blue and white. So it's the right colors for me.
Now, did he give it to you early, or you got to open it today?
I opened it today. It came and I said, you hold it until Thursday. So I can open it on my birthday.
And Colleen, what do you do to unwind?
Oh my goodness. Well, one of my biggest interests is cooking. My stepfather was a huge influence on me in the kitchen, and there wasn't anything he couldn't make. And so I love to eat, I love to cook, I love to entertain. And so I get to unwind a little bit every day going home and making dinner. We never ate out very much growing up. So, I always say my stepdad could take refried beans, a cucumber, and, a mushroom and make something absolutely divine. So I do love to cook. I love to read about cooking and recipes. And right now I'm reading The History of Food. And it's a book probably about this thick that talks about the beginning of various foods and the origins of different ingredients. So I'm having a lot of fun with that. I would say reading is probably a close second for unwinding. But, I find that what kind of really, I call these my tenderloins. When your tenderloins are real tight and stressed out, you just can't get your shoulders down. One of the best ways for me to get those tenderloins down is take a day trip somewhere, even if it's, down to the beach and, get a shrimp burger or something like that. But kind of get out of the New Bern bubble a little bit, even, or if it's to head west and, spend the day in Kinston or, stuff like that. We've been going to Carteret County quite a bit. I think, it's the season, it's warm out, and, like Talina, love the beach, love the water, the sound of the waves and things just kind of really help you forget about other things. So sometimes just a day trip somewhere to just get out of town, see something different, spend some time together. And I also love to work out, but I gotta say, during all this heat and humidity, it's kind of hard to get out there without, coughing on your lungs when you're trying to run. So, but a little bit of many things, I think, help me to unplug. Certainly getting away from these things helps. So.
Yeah. And Kathy, what do you do?
I do a lot of reading, and it's a lot of junk reading, not to improve myself or to, improve my mind, just murder mystery and stuff like that, cozy stuff. And I agree, just getting away from normal routine is a good thing. Go down to the sanitary and see what's going on there. Of course, that's what we haven't been doing lately is go somewhere. But that's what that's kind of go away and do something different than your normal routine, your normal schedule. But that's about it.
All right.
Very cool.
We've got a lot of comments here.
Social media minute.
It's social media minute. Yeah. Okay. Kathy's watching. Rob Jones. He said the answer, but I'm not going to say it yet. Great job, Rob. Yep, I sent you my picture when I picked my prize. Oh yeah, that's right. You did. He sent me. He was in front of Carolina Creations. That's where our prizes are held. So don't ignore mental health issues. No shame. It took me years to recognize I couldn't fix things on my own. That is so true, Rob. Yeah, I mean, just be able to talk to somebody really helps. It's nothing to be ashamed of. And Fran Eves, happy birthday, Kathy. Peter Zoli, happy birthday, Kathy.
Thank you,
Pete. Yeah.
Pete just released his new book, and Peenemund is the name of it, Peenemund, and it's about during World War II, the forces that do intelligence collecting and code breaking and collecting information from radio intercepts and stuff like that. And it's I think it's fourth in his series, but it's really good. I just read it. So thank you, Pete. Go read Pete's book. It's on Amazon.
It's on Amazon. Okay.
Yeah, Peenemund, Peenemund.
Okay.
Very nice. Oh.
So what else?
We are actually tomorrow. We are going to have almost all of our public works staff, almost the entire department, out in Duffy Field doing a cleanup project. Talina knew exactly what I was getting.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Partnering with the Redevelopment Commission, and I'm going to name the streets, but I will tell you one of the most popular questions we've gotten is, when are you coming to where I live? The Redevelopment Commission has split Duffy Field up into 11 or 12 different zones, and they're actually going to pay attention to those zones on a schedule. But we're starting tomorrow. We'll be out there all day, taking frequent breaks. We will have a lot of cold water out there for the staff, but we're starting at Bay, Crawford, and Elm Streets. We're also doing 1st, 2nd, and 3rd Avenue, as well as Cedar. So our guys and gals are going to be out there mowing, trimming the hedges, trimming trees, picking up litter. And we encourage you, if you live in this particular zone, get out there and add to the curb appeal, and maybe get out there and pay some attention to your yard, or if everything is in good working order in your yard, maybe ask your neighbor, be neighborly, and see if they maybe need help cleaning something up. Our goal is to clean up this area, to fix and reduce blight, and bring back Duffyfield to what it has been in the past, a thriving community. So tomorrow we'll be out there ahead of the weekend. I can't wait to see, what it looks like. I know our staff is looking forward to it. The only people from Public Works who aren't going to be out there, incidentally, are the folks who work in our garage. And that's because as we have equipment and vehicles and things that break down, there are, repairs and things to be made. So we're going to let them stay in the garage and do some of the significant repair we have for them tomorrow, some of the stuff they have on their docket. But everybody else from Public Works is going to be out in Duffyfield. So
I got a question. Can members of the public help out at all, or is this, are you accepting volunteers or not?
I'll tell you this, originally we wanted volunteers to come, and then we got a little bit of pushback on that, actually, from folks who were concerned about being in close proximity to others, helping in these types of projects, particularly because of the pandemic. So we have edited our messaging, and we are not calling for volunteers any longer. So
I gotcha.
You can help out by, cleaning your own yard, or being neighborly and asking others if you can help. But we did get a little bit of feedback from folks who were like, yeah, even though we're outdoors, I don't feel real good about that. And so we changed it a little bit.
Sounds like you've got a big crew going to be out there. Lots and lots.
As including, the garage and stormwater and leaf and limb and the streets department. I think they have, 60 employees maybe.
Wow.
So there are going to be a lot of people out there tomorrow, and we won't keep everyone from 7:30 to 5 o'clock. It will be in shifts. It is going to be extremely hot. So I just don't want people to expect 50 people all in Duffyfield at the same time. We're going to stage them a little bit, let people stop, cool off, that kind of thing.
That's awesome. I did have a question. Have you all heard of any kind of organization or effort to restore actually, I don't even know if it's restoring, fixing Greenwood Cemetery? I was out there a couple weeks ago, and I'm just, it's very sad to see all the different, some of the plots are, sunken in, and others don't. The stones are like all broken. It's sad to me that, we put a lot of resources and tours into Cedar Grove, and that's part of New Bern's history, and I think it's very important. So if y'all haven't heard of an organization, but if somebody out there on social media, if you're looking for a great project, there's a lot of it's in disrepair, and I really think people should try to help out. It's part of our history, and I brought that up to segue to a more positive note. Kathy, I watched Carol Becton, I didn't get to see it live. Well, she's a terrific speaker, but she did the history of the Great Fire of 1922. And oh my gosh, her narration and the images, truly brought you to that point. And if you live in New Bern and if you don't know the history of the Great Fire of 1922, I really highly recommend you watch that. You can see the video on New Bern Historical Society Facebook page. It was a terrific presentation.
Yeah, you can still see that video, and it's also on newbernhistorical.org on our website. That was our second live streaming attempt, and Carol did a wonderful job. She mentioned Greenwood Cemetery, the fact that the bodies that were moved from Cedar Grove into Greenwood, and that discussion and addressing that lately. So now there is a sign in Greenwood Cemetery explaining what happened there during the Jim Crow time, and they moved the bodies because they wanted the space. And there's also a sign in Cedar Grove that says, you know, there were African Americans here that we moved to a different place and over in Greenwood Cemetery. But it would be a great project to get that one going. Carol did a wonderful job. She was the second of the live streaming, and that was yesterday, but it is still on. And Jim's New Bern Then and Now
Right.
is still there, and that's, you know, got a whole lot of traffic. You know, just wonderful images of the downtown area and what was there before and what is there now. And in some cases, what's there now is an interesting, you know, nice looking building, and in some cases, what's there now is a parking lot. It just depends on what happened at that point in history and who was able to you know, act to save the buildings, and sometimes they weren't. We've got two more coming up, two more live streams coming up. Next week is on the 22nd is John Lay is going to talk about, shoot, I just lost it. John Lay's on the 22nd is going to talk about the Ghent subdivision, you know, that Ghent area and the history there and how that grew up. And then on the 29th, Susan Moffett Thomas is going to talk about the downtown Renaissance. You know, what happened? Where were we in the 50s, 60s, and 70s? And how did we get to where we are now? And what did it take to get to where we are now from that point? And what else do we need to do? Where do we need to keep working? So that's on the 29th. And both of those will be live streamed. So you can ask your questions on the spot and get an answer. But afterwards, the video will still be there and available for everybody on the Facebook page and on the website. So,
And you've had a big audience for those. They've been successful.
They really have. Both Carol and Jim had a big audience, lots of great comments. You know, folks really appreciated it. And a lot of folks didn't know about the fire and, you know, that it wiped out that whole area and left, you know, 3,000 people homeless. And what happened after them? You know, what did they do? And
Well, yeah, and I think this it's very important that we know our history. I say our history, I mean specifically New Bern. We're living here, and you know, to get if we're going to get through this COVID and all the division, we have to understand where people, you know, what has happened, the history, to understand and move forward and have conversations instead of just assuming things about, you know, other people. It's just, that's how we have to, that's my opinion, you know.
Well, and to see things from another point of view, Carol was the last graduating class from J.T. Barber before they sent all those kids and integrated with now I've forgotten the name of the other school. I'm doing really well today with names. God bless.
Are you taking my muscle relaxants?
I need to take something, I'll tell you.
It's almost Friday, so none of
But Carol was in that last class. The class of 1970 was the last class at J.T. Barber, and they're working on their 50th reunion and trying to get a great program together in the middle of COVID. But, you know, from her point of view, all the way through elementary school and all the way through junior high, she was in segregated schools, and then and through high school. And then after that, it changed the school system. So, and that changed how, you know, how people were looking at what needed to be done and, you know, what needed to be rebuilt and what needed to be provided. So it was interesting. So if you have a chance, go look at it.
Carol is much like Nelson McDaniel. You can listen to her talk all day long.
Well, it's cool to say, you know, to listen to her say, well, I knew this person and this was my 5th grade teacher. And here she is now as a source for David Siselski in you know, something about 1922, when she used to take us all downtown and make us walk around downtown and learn the history of New Bern, you know, as 5th graders. And it's just interesting. And Nelson does the same thing. He knows this person who did that. And having a personal touch to history is really interesting.
It is, yeah, definitely.
Better than a textbook. It's like somebody brings it alive for you.
Yeah.
All right. We also have, I forgot to mention, the drive-in movies that Rec is doing. They are on Friday and Saturday nights. And so we had, we talked about Wizard of Oz, which was in June. And then last weekend we had Goonies. Lots of folks love that. On the 24th, so not this weekend, but the next one, we have Jurassic Park, which is already sold out. But I'm here to tell you that on August 1st, we will have Jaws. The weekend after that, we will have Raiders of the Lost Ark. Now, I understand that Jaws tickets, it's $5 per car. Go to newbernnc.gov and go to Parks and Rec under the department's listings. And you do need to register and get your $5 ticket per car. Jaws tickets open tomorrow. So if you want to get into a movie before they get sold out, then sign up for Jaws.
Watch the movie and go to the beach.
Yeah, I got a question. Is there like a, I mean, is that still rated R, or is that like a family thing?
You know, I mean, the movies are, you know, to appeal to everyone. Goonies was, you know, there are a lot of kids out there, you know. Some of the other movies, you know, Jaws might cause some nightmares. And
I will not go in the ocean like deeper than my thigh, which isn't very deep, because of that movie. And that was back in the 70s, I think. Yep. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Maybe we won't have a lot of people
I bet you.
I mean, it's not a gory or anything movie. It's just, we all have different experiences. That's just, it is what it is.
Suspenseful. And now everybody knows what boom, 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 what that means.
We have.
You're awfully quiet. What do you think about Jaws? And your face lit up when she said Goonies.
Oh man, I'm, you know, one of the a little bit on the older scale, the millennials. So Goonies was, it's a coveted treasure amongst us. So I loved it. I was upset that I missed it. I was still out of town, but wildly popular drive-in series that the city has created, and I think it's an amazing opportunity for families. I cross that bridge a lot, and it's something extra special to see that big blown up screen over in Losses Creek Park. It's always like, man, I wish oh man. So I just love it. I love to see it. So
yeah, that's awesome. I wasn't knocking your movies, Colleen. I think all that Parks and Rec and you guys are doing, I mean, you're doing the best you can with what is going on. So we really appreciate that.
Of course, the governor has extended Safer at Home Phase 2 for another 3 weeks, which will put us up to August 7th. That being said, we still do have our Eat in the Street, our street cafes that are going on Friday and Saturday nights. We really feel like the last few Friday and or Saturday nights, it's been raining, thanks to Mother Nature. So some of them have been canceled, but I did want to let you know a bit of good news. On the next Board of Aldermen agenda, they are going to take up a resolution to extend those street cafes on Fridays and Saturdays through October 11th. So won't that be nice when the weather's a little cooler to still be able to eat outside on the weekends? So, and I know there's a lot of support for that around here. People really seem to like it.
I saw Foster on TV talking about finishing up the bridge from the convention center to Union Point Park.
Yes, what a popular topic for a lot of folks. We just completed repair and restoration of the pedestrian bridge that goes under the Cunningham Bridge downtown. It sort of connects Union Point Park with the rest of the Riverwalk behind the convention center and the Doubletree downtown. A lot of people have said, you know, why did that take so long after being ruined during Hurricane Florence? Union Point Park is an historic park, and those things take a lot longer with FEMA. to get reimbursement monies and particular contracts and instructions in place before you can even touch those types of repairs. But it's all done. Foster's been doing several interviews with folks, and we've gotten a lot of positive comments on social media. Folks that are happy to see it open again. They feel like they can continue their walking routines in the morning and working out and running and that sort of thing. And it's so pretty and wide, and everybody's so glad it's back. So we have a lot of staff who will take their lunches to Union Point Park, or, take a walk down there across the bridge on their lunch breaks. And so it's a nice thing to finally have back in the community. So glad.
That's awesome. Great job, Foster, and your team.
Yes.
And you're talking about walking, and it just reminded me of a friend of mine had posted on social media that they're walking in the New Bern Mall. So it's not too hot to walk indoors, I guess. So
That's true.
I didn't know if people were aware of that. So that's another option if you want exercise, and it's definitely too hot outside. So
Very, very hot.
And
Wendy, really quick, I just wanted to kind of caveat off of the incredible ways that recently entrepreneurs and different businesses are finding new ways to either sell their products or reinvent their business based on what we're going through and having to adjust to staying home longer, or just the different regulations that are coming down. Again, it's been a very interesting time, especially for our local small businesses, but a lot of great collaborations have come out of this time, not just funny videos of grandparents trying to figure out Zoom. So I think one of the things that we have going on locally as well is the African American Lecture Series, which is tonight. It happens, I think it's the second Thursday of every month. I'll have to double check with that. But Sharon Bryan and Tryon Palace have an African American lecture series, and it's going to feature tonight the Saltbox Seafood, which is a local New Bern native, Chef Ricky Moore and his wife. They're going to talk about their eatery, which is actually in Durham, but how they got started using fresh North Carolina seafood and foods indigenous to this area. And there's also going to be a cooking demonstration as well. So I think that's a great display of collaboration with our entrepreneurs and with some of our organizations that we have here. And in that same spirit, one of the things that we also had pop up last weekend was the Black Broad Street Association, which was a group of entrepreneurs from Broad Street in the Duffyfield area that have gotten together to form an association. And they had a wonderful pop-up on the 4th of July, but this weekend they're going to do a paint and play.
Oh, nice.
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so this weekend, July 18th at 7 p.m., there's going to be paint materials, and you can leave with a canvas. There's going to be snacks and live entertainment and some things for the kids, obviously socially distanced, but they have been starting events going up through Broad Street to, like, as we talked about, bring some more thriving business and tourists and everything else to that area. So I think that's an amazing, again, collaboration that has occurred just and grown out of what we're experiencing now, and the realization that we are stronger together, and we have some amazing talents here in New Bern that deserve display and celebration. So I think those things have been outstanding, and I look forward to more of the things that entrepreneurs are doing and creative ways they're finding to be out in the community while still being safe.
Right. Yeah, that's fantastic, Talina, and because this is our future. Like, we're living in, I hate the new norm. I hate that term, but we have to figure it out. And I'm so impressed with so many different entrepreneurs locally here, and especially the Broad Street corridor. That should be part of the whole downtown. And I'm glad to see that it's finally getting there. I really see a lot of change, positive change, and it's terrific. And I'm sure, young urban professionals of ENC, you guys are probably at the hub of that, right?
We are one of the collaborators. So we like to say that we're in the community. We are not the voice of it, but we are in and throughout, and we try to collaborate in every faction as we can. And that's within our capacity. So to see the energy, to see the reinvigoration of that business spirit that we always knew was there. But just in the last couple of years and just in the last couple of months, to see the interest that and the resources that are starting to open up for that area has been, nothing short of a godsend. And we'll, I hope we'll continue with that energy, not just that community, but others outside of that community that are starting to see the value that is within that community. I think it's an amazing time right now for everyone, honestly.
Yeah.
That the paper did on the pop-up a couple weeks ago on July 4th weekend, it looked like it was very well received. There were so many people there.
Yeah, it was an amazing energy. Walking through it, I obviously received reports because I was still on vacation, but there, everyone who attended said that it was an amazing time. Just walking through there and seeing the things that they had to offer, and just the energy and the love and the music and everything that was going on. It was great. So yeah, I'm glad that you heard the same thing, Colleen, and I'm looking forward to more events from this group, and reaching out and collaborating with some more possible Yup things with them in the future.
Yeah, and well, is the Small Business Center also involved in that collaboration?
I'm not exactly sure with the Black Broad Street Association. I know for sure they have been very supportive in the things that Yup has done in the past, and have hosted some of our educational classes. So I have no doubt that they're somehow involved in some kind of way, and if not, that they will be in the future.
Well, yeah, and I just spoke with Deborah Kania over at the Kania. Sorry, I get it wrong every time.
Right.
She's over at the Small Business Center at Craven Community College, and she is like very happy that there's new businesses that are starting now. Like, there's a lot of interest, and it's refreshing to hear, that people are ready to just jump in and go for it, And anyways, they're launching their Fall Entrepreneur Series on August 11th from 6 to 9. And for all the details about that, visit cravencc.edu/SBC. So thank you, Deborah, and your team for all that you do. So, yeah.
I think Kathy was trying to say something about the Broad Street.
I just, have noticed a number of businesses there doing renovations. Look like they're getting ready to open up pretty soon in that whole strip down Broad Street. So it looks like there's, a lot of interesting things happening there.
Indeed. There's the Village, I know for sure, which is...
I saw that.
Yeah, Tammy and Edwin Lawrence, who are well known in the community. Great mentors for the youth, and great collaborators in the community. There are at least, I know, 3 or 4 other businesses for sure that are opening up within the next 30 days. So yeah, a lot of activity. It's a great time to get into Duffield and Broad Street area and see what they got going on. Good stuff coming out of there.
Yay.
So you only have about 5 minutes to go in and respond with your guess on the state's official gem.
Okay. Yeah, 5 minutes. So let's talk. Actually, let me do a quick featured artist.
Yes, show us some of your artwork back there like you usually do.
Guess who did this? This is Boo, my old dog. He passed away a couple years ago.
Aw, beautiful.
Can you guess can you guess who the painter, the artist is? Very famous in New Bern and I'm sure elsewhere.
I'm trying to read the name at the bottom corner.
He does, you'll see him en plein air painting around town. Lee Hood.
I was gonna say,
I love him. I love him. That should have been another trivia question. So he's one of my all-time favorite artists. He's just amazing. Yeah. So.
And then the
Shout
heart.
out to Lee. My mom did that back when I moved in. That was my little. She gave that to me when my housewarming present. So. My mom's still with me. I'm not really a girly girl. So, but she tried her hardest. She would make all my clothes when I was growing up and make me, she'd pull out the McCall's patterns. Is that what it was? McCall's?
Uh-huh.
So I'd make my dresses that I had to wear to school. Like all my friends are wearing jeans and cool clothes and I'm wearing, I wasn't Amish, but you would probably guess I was, but she just was a very crafty lady. And so anyway.
that's not a bad skill to know though. I think recently a lot of people have taken up interest in sewing. Now, whether it was to sew masks to sell or to volunteer to offer, we found that is an essential skill. So you were ahead of the times.
Yes, and you, Talina, Kathy, as far as, well, I'm not sure, though I'm guessing Talina with the Marines, were you ever on a ship? I
did not, thank God.
Okay. But you're probably in places where you couldn't go to alterations, yeah. So you had to hem your own clothes and that. I'm sure Kathy already did that, but I said that because she was Air Force.
Masking tape works real well.
I was actually in the one of the first platoons to have the the camis that were digital and stuff like that. So I was a new age, but I'm also in that weird in between spot where we had home economics when I was in in school, in grade school. So we had to sew pillows and we did have to sew hemlines and things like that. So I still remember some of that stuff, but again, I'm in
it's great to teach kids new things too for the future. You never know.
It's new to them. So
all right, where are we at? We're at 149. You want to do it?
Let's do it.
Do our contest.
Okay, the contest. This is a question for viewers. Last chance. I'm going to give you a minute, and then the Podsquad will be able to answer. So, what is North Carolina's official gemstone? So we'll give you until 1:50 and to comment. So what's a gemstone? And you'll be entered to win a prize. Okay, within that minute, let's see, what didn't we talk about? We didn't talk about
Habitat.
Habitat, there you go.
The Habitat for Humanity Restore is about to do something really fun. It's a special opportunity for shoppers to pick up some special and unusual items at the Restore. They're calling it their in-store silent auction. It begins on August 1st. You can call 633-9599, or you can visit them at 930 Pollock Street in New Bern. And so they'll have a special item or two each month, I think, and you'll be able to go in there and take a look at it and bid on it if you would like. I think they're also going to be posting it on social media where you can submit questions or your bid for it as well. And they're starting with a clock, I think, a very nice grandfather clock. So make sure you visit the Habitat for Humanity Restore to find out more about that.
All right. The Next Chapter Books and Art has released the inaugural issue of its literary magazine. Well, a local literary magazine.
Wow.
The Next Chapter Literary Magazine. Magazine contains works of poetry, short stories, and art from local artists and writers. And you can get your copy at the Next Chapter Bookstore, which is at 320 South Front Street.
There you go. And Craven County Schools is currently reviewing state guidance for the return to school on August 17th. So let them know what you think by take the roadmap to reopen community survey, and you can find that on cravenk12.org. So give them, let them know how you feel. And also St. Paul Catholic School and Epiphany School of Global Studies are reopening in mid-August. So that's news from there. And I think we've given you all enough time. Rob Jones may be the winner of this contest too.
Again.
So
Good for him.
All right, let's see. I need to grab something real quick here. What's the question? What did I say?
What is North Carolina's official gemstone, right?
There we go. Yes. Okay, Pod Squad, any guesses?
I would not have guessed the right one. I looked at Rob's answer.
I immediately guessed because we had an aisle named after it.
There you go.
There you go.
I immediately thought Emerald Isle. So
And
that's
that
where
didn't
mine
even
went.
that didn't even dawn on me. But here's some up close and personal. That's
Whoops.
these were taken in or grabbed from Hidden Night and Spruce Pine, Emerald Hollow gem mine, and also Little Switzerland, and that's in Little Switzerland. I think it's Emerald something, but let's see. I have a little bit of history on that. The emerald, okay, in 1969, the Wrist mine yielded the largest crystal seen in North America, a 1,438 carat piece, a 13.14 carat. The Carolina Emerald also was acquired by Tiffany and Company of New York. And in 1973, the emerald was adopted as the state's official gemstone. So what I do, I have a whole tray here of, these are only just a few of the gemstones I have, but you can order a box for, I think it was $80 or whatever, and $20 for shipping. But I did that like a long time ago, and that's from the Spruce Pine Emerald mine, and they ship it to you, so you can, that's a fun thing to do with kids of all ages. So if you're looking for something different to do, and then I like, this is a sapphire, and this is a cabochon of the sapphire. You can send your rough cut stones, like, like this, and you can have them faceted or cabochon. It's cabochon, Kathy, is that it? So they'll do that, and then they'll send the rocks back that had fractures or whatever, and say, oh, you don't want to waste money on that. So if you're interested, let me know, and I'll get the contact information. The guy's out of Franklin, North Carolina. He's amazing. I mean, he could have said, oh, no, they're not worth anything, and like kept a couple himself, but some fun. So
Jewels are always fun.
yeah, they are. I love learning about them. It's just you can go in a creek and mine for them, or have them shipped to you and do it in your backyard in the kids' pool. So
So the
Okay.
instructions for the winner, I know Rob has won before, but for people who never have, what are the instructions for picking up his prize?
Okay, Rob, you need to go to Carolina Creations, and they have the prizes in the back, in the office. So it's a bag, it's a grab bag kind of thing where they're already wrapped and he just picks whichever. So you never know what you're going to get. And if your store wants to, have some prizes, we provide the prizes, and that way it kind of helps get customers in the store. So yeah, we're just trying to figure out ways to help the small business. And Talina, I know you do that every day. I mean, with your Business Savvy, right? That's your business name?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
through Savvy. Yeah, I've also had to, like we talked about, convert and do a lot of Zoom meetings with clients and things. But a lot of what I talk to my clients about is what community aspect are you including in your business? I understand that businesses are for capital and for profit, but at the same time, the same individuals who give their hard-earned money to you should feel some kind of return on their investment as well. So not just a product or a service, but they should feel some sort of relationship with the business owner. So that is definitely one of the questions that I like to ask. And, something as simple as if kids come by your shop or your store with an honor roll report card, maybe giving them some sort of credit or something towards something. Just really think about the community aspect as an entrepreneur. Where is your money coming from and where is it going? So that's just a business savvy tip, kind of 101.
oh, it's true. People usually buy from people they believe in, versus just, going online. Like, I'm rambling, I'm sorry.
Oh, you are definitely correct. I know a lot of folks buy because they have brand loyalty, but it makes it extra special when you actually feel like you have a relationship with the individual that you're, purchasing from. If nothing else, if there's something wrong and they have a great customer service, that's a great relationship. So adding that element of human touch into your business always allows you to stand out versus everyone else. And it's especially important right now when everyone's looking for human connection.
Yes, and supporting local, instead of, sure, you could save $10 on Amazon, but if you could really help a small business that's struggling right now, why not?
Right. We're experiencing a little bit of that back here on Bryce's Creek Road. I believe there's a Dollar General opening across the street from the local gas station, which is Merchants.
Merchants, really?
Yeah, that new structure across the street is, I believe it's going to be a Dollar General, which was included in the transportation plan.
Wow.
And, a lot of folks are, of course, obviously a little afraid because, we all love and go to Merchants and talk to the cashiers and the owner and have a great relationship with them. Folks are worried about that business, going under because a lot more folks will probably go and get their wares from across the street. But the power of the community is that, some people will pay the extra couple dollars just to get that, what they could get at Dollar General from Merchants just because of that relationship. So
you can't get a cheese biscuit at Dollar General.
Exactly. Exactly. Or a homemade cookie.
Yeah.
You can't get that, or your bait for fishing.
Yes. Yeah. Honestly, I would definitely, Dwight and his team, I really believe that the community is gonna support Merchants.
Of course.
Yeah, they're a staple in our town. So, and if you haven't been there, it's right off of Bryce's Creek Road and Perrytown Road. The right? That's Bryce's Creek Road.
Yes.
Yep.
Fact check. Okay.
We got you, Wendy.
Gosh, I'm foggy. So, let's see. Let's do a social media minute. Anyone else? Oh, hi, Steve Tyson. If you're still watching, thanks for watching. Randy Foster.
Hey, Randy.
Randy is the yin to my yang. He our we have different reporting views, you know, and so it balances things out as far as hyper local news. So thank you, Randy. You're awesome. Yeah. And what else? Colleen, anything going on at the city? You're not doing anything, are you?
No.
You just sit in your office all day and yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Pick out what movie
You
we're
make me yawn.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm the one recommending the movies to Parks and Rec. So, you know, I'm thinking about like Pretty Woman and
Yeah, actually, that was a good movie.
that was a good movie.
Yeah.
We are super busy all the time. It's interesting. I was talking to our city attorney, Scott Davis, on Tuesday night at the Board of Aldermen meeting. And he said, I think so many people had the same thought that when we, you know, went into the stay-at-home order and then the safer-at-home order, and a lot of organizations, businesses, city buildings, things like that closed, I think we all had a little bit of, oh my gosh, I'll be able to get so much done kind of thought. I have more time on my hands. I can't, you know, go anywhere really because everything is closed. I'll be able to get a lot more done. And that was certainly the way that I was thinking. And Scott shared the same thing. He said, oh, I thought, you know, there's so many city policies and other things that he consults on. And he was like, you know, I just know I'm going to be able to get those done. You know, I should look at this in a positive way. And I said, same on my end. And both of us are like, you feel like you're busier than you were before. You find that, you know, you weren't able to check off those things that you said, oh yeah, I have lots of time on my hands. I'll be able to, you know, check this off my list and get that done and blah, blah, blah. No. And that's kind of the way I feel. You know, your plate is very heavily stacked, but as we start to open up, you know, busy is a good thing to be when businesses and places come back online. So, and Talina was talking about, you know, Business Savvy 101 is that relationship. I mean, how many times do you go somewhere and you have a great experience and the customer service is outstanding? Whoever leaves there and says, yeah, I won't be back. It's like, that's what you enjoy about the place is walking in the next time and saying, hey, last time you helped me find blah, blah, blah. And I really appreciated that. And, you know, you guys were so friendly. And today I need such and such. So those relationships, I think, are always important, whether it's a local or somebody visiting from out of town, because it makes all of us want to come back again, you know?
There you go. And we have a special guest.
Uh-oh. Is this joke time?
It's joke time here.
Uh-oh.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Who's that?
Talk into this. Talk into this.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, here's the joke.
Wait.
Why does a duck have tail feathers? Why does a duck have tail feathers?
So it can
If you had
shake.
shingles instead, it'd be terrible.
What did you say, Kathy?
What?
If he had shingles instead of feathers, it would be awful.
It would. Painful. All right, that's it?
Yep.
To cover its butt quack.
I'm done. I pressed the wrong one.
All right, that's it.
Okay.
Love you guys.
I hit the wrong button.
You got one
Sorry.
job, Wendy.
I forgot to ask her
One
what she.
job, Wendy.
What are you cooking?
Ribs.
Ribs.
I'll be there.
Yeah, me too.
She made what do you call it? She planted like little pumpkins, I guess, miniature pumpkins and zucchini in this little tiny space, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've only seen that done once, but it just grew like crazy, you know, like to the neighbor's yard. But so she made this trellis thing. And so it grows up vertically. I didn't know that happened with squash and pumpkin and zucchini and that. Have you all done that? Kind of like tomatoes?
Only tomatoes and yeah, stuff like that. But I'm used to seeing grow upwards, but I didn't know squash and would do the same thing. Makes sense.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
YouTube videos have told her to do. So we'll see how the project works out.
Be careful it doesn't start eating up your house.
Yeah.
It grows up.
Anyway.
Yeah, no, I'm just able to keep my basil alive.
You're doing better than me. Mine is saying, what's going on here?
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah.
But I have a rosemary bush that has like never gone away. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So that's nice.
Yeah. Kind of looks like the ones behind Kathy there at that Moore Oliver house, right? Are they
Oh,
roses?
yeah, that's the Atmore Oliver House rose bush. Yeah.
There you go.
Pretty, very pretty.
All right. Is there anything else, you guys?
I don't think so.
Thank you all for joining us. Great seeing you, Talina. Happy birthday, Kathy, and
Thank you.
always Colleen. You guys rock.
Great to see
So-
everybody. Don't forget to let us know if you'd like to be a guest or you have questions or suggestions. You can give Wendy a call at 252-259-6853, or you can also send an email to info@newbernnow.com. So join us July 23rd from 1 to 2 p.m. as we Zoom live again for another New Bern Now podcast on our Facebook page. The video and audio will be uploaded to newbernnow.com, YouTube, iTunes, and wherever you listen to podcasts. And Wendy always likes to give a shout out to WNOS 103.9 FM. You can tune into New Bern News talk radio station to listen to this podcast every Wednesday at 8 a.m. and 5 p.m.
Well,
Wendy,
are you ready, Colleen?
I'm ready. Are you going to say it?
You say it.
Well, that's a wrap, folks. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening. Have a good day.
You too, guys. Take care.
Bye. Okay.
All right.
Find
Thank
my-
you. Thanks. Bye. Have a great
Bye.
day.